Welcome to Lahari Lectures. In this video, you can watch Computer Science one-liners from question 1051 to 1100. Let's watch. First question, which TCL command is useful for partial rollback? Save point. If a transaction fails before commit, which command restores the database to its previous consistent state? Rollback. Save point is used to create intermediate checkpoints within a transaction. Which command is associated with transaction management? TCL. Which command can be used after save point to return to the specific point? Rollback to save point. Name some TCL commands. Commit, rollback, save point. If commit is not issued and a rollback is executed, the result is uncommitted changes are discarded. Which command marks the successful completion of transaction? Commit. Next question, which SQL language includes commit and rollback? TCL. Which command creates a save point inside an active transaction? Save point. Which command allows recovery to a specific point in a transaction? Save point with rollback to save point. Which command restores the database to the state before the current transaction began? Rollback. Save point is mainly used to create intermediate checkpoints within a transaction. Which ACID property is directly supported by commit and rollback? Atomicity. A data model is a collection of concepts for describing data, relationships, constants, and operations. Who proposed the relational data model? Edgar F. Codd. The hierarchical data model organizes data in the form trees. The network data model represents data using graph structure. Which data model allows a child node to have multiple parents? Network model. The relational model stores data in the form of tables relations. Which data model is based on first order predicate logic? Relational model. Which data model supports many-to-many relationships directly? Network model. Which data model is easiest for end users? Relational model. Who developed the entity relationship ER model? Peter Chen. The ER model mainly consists of entities, attributes, and relationships. Which model is mainly used during database design? ER model. Which data model describes how data is physically stored? Physical data model. Which data model describes what data is stored and relationships among data? Logical data model. Which model provides the highest level of data abstraction? Conceptual model. Which data model suffers from the single parent limitation? Hierarchical model. Which model supports inheritance and encapsulation? Object-oriented data model. Object-oriented data model stores data as objects. Which data model is most widely used in modern DBMS? Relational model. Which data model provides high data independence? Relational model. The object relational model combines features of relational and object-oriented models. Which data model is represented by records connected through pointers? Network model. Which model represented one-to-many relationships naturally? Hierarchical model. Which model is an example of a record-based logical model? Relational model. The main disadvantage of the hierarchical model is single parent restriction. Which model is best suited for complex relationships? Network model. In the hierarchical data model, each child record can have only one parent. The hierarchical data model primarily supports one-to-many relationships, which is the root of a hierarchical database. Topmost parent node. The relationship between parent and child records is maintained using pointer links. Which relationship is difficult to represent in the hierarchical model? Many to many. The hierarchical data model is best suited for tree-like relationships. The topmost node in a hierarchy is called root. A node without children is called leaf node. The main disadvantage of the hierarchical model is single parent restriction. The hierarchical model represents data using tree structures. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. For more videos, please put a comment in the comment section. Thank you.